love to cook. Hi, welcome to my kitchen. Today I want to show you how to clean a vegetable that it's so good for you and it's so delicious. We use this in our homes all the time. So, and my kids still have a problem with cleaning them and knowing how to cook them. Of course, when they come to my home, they'll be happy to eat them, but at the same time, they still have a problem trying to figure out how to cook them and how to clean them. So it's pretty simple. So if you want to pay attention, this is how you do with the, these are Swiss Chards, by the way. And I actually got lucky yesterday. I went to the farmer's market and they had the different colored ones all in one bunch. So I basically picked up a bunch. With a bunch of them, unless it's very, very tiny, you can serve at least 4 people as a side dish, or if you want to use them with some kind of beans like I'm going to do today, that could be a good meal also. So back to basic. This is how, and again, this is one vegetable that we use the whole thing. I've seen people just use the green and throw out the stem. Not a good idea. The stem is the best because it actually is the part that stays crunchy. So you want to definitely use the stem, unless you just want to use them for decoration, that kind of thing like that. So you get the leaf in your hands and you go like this with a paring knife, if you can. You still want to get rid of some of the fibers that'll keep the stem from cooking faster. That's basically the only reason why. And depending on tough, look at the leaves. If they look healthy, they look nice and green, you use the whole thing. If they look yellow and they look kind of really messed up, you can cut away whatever you don't like. Okay? So this is it, and I'm going to just kind of slice it in the middle so you make like small chunks. The smaller you make them, obviously, the faster they're going to cook. So you just keep on cutting them. And if you want to use the board, you can use the board and, you know. Okay. Now, as you cutting them, I have a tub, or if it's not just a small amount, you could use a big bowl, or even your sink. If you clean your sink, part of your sink, you could just, basically they need to soak for a good, at least good 5 minutes once you cut them. And then you need to rinse them once or twice. Check the water. Once you finish, once you take them out and you put them in a colander, see if there's a lot of sand on the bottom of the bowl or on the bottom of the sink, whatever you use. If there is, you might want to rinse them one more time. You would just want to make sure that the vegetable you're cooking, they're clean. You don't want to be eating any sand or any dirt, okay? So keep going. Cut them. And this vegetable, it's just, and I'm assuming it's probably the family all around there of the spinach, because it's a green one. Besides that, it really shrinks a lot. So even though it seems like there's a lot in there, there's not going to be that much once it cooks, okay? So don't be afraid that it looks like you're getting too much. It's not. Okay. And like I said before, today I'm going to do it with some beans. So I'm going to parboil them for a few minutes, just enough to get them to shrink down and start cooking. And then I'm going to saute some onions and a little bit of tomato, and then you know, obviously season them. And then we're going to put the vegetables in and the beans and just finish cooking them for another few minutes, whatever it takes. You'll test them and see if they're tender enough for your taste, and then you just serve them. So this is what we're going to do. Okay. See? Okay. So hopefully it doesn't scare you, and you try to do it, because it's so much easier. And actually, you might get lucky. Some stores, some grocery stores might have them bagged, already cut up and kind of cleaned, but I'll still check them no matter what, because you never know if they're, you know, some of them, they're not that good when in there. I usually also rinse them. I'm kind of fanatic about my vegetables. So anyway, okay, we're just going to wait for the water to boil, and I'm going to rinse the vegetables, and that's going to come up next. Okay, so as you see, I'm just kind of shaking the leaves, making sure that all the dirt or any impurities would come out. Okay, they looked pretty clean when I started cleaning, you know, cutting them up and everything. So, and you can see from the water, even though it's gotten a little bit of discoloration, but that's from the red ones. They actually tint the water. But other than that, I don't see too much sand or dirt. So this will be good. And the idea of parboiling them, believe it or not, that's another little trick. And the fact that we're gonna put some salt in the water, it will actually help shed any other grain of sand or anything that's going to be in there. So that's basically one of the reasons why I like to parboil the vegetables. So what I'm going to do is get a nice, probably a couple of tablespoons of salt. Don't be afraid. So most of it will stay in the water. It's not going to matter one way or the other, but it'll help the vegetables stay nice and green. So let's drop them, and as you can see, as soon as they go in the water, they just kind of shrink. Now we're going to cover them and just until they start boiling, and then I'm going to leave them uncovered, because otherwise this is going to be a mess. If you leave it covered, the water will overflow. So we're just going to cover it for the time being, just until they boil. As you can see, they are come to boil already. So what you do is you just push them down, make sure that all of them get equal treatment from the water. So there. Okay, so now basically we can leave this uncovered. And you don't want to cook them for more than 5 minutes. Just to get them, you know, start getting tender. Then we're going to drain them, put them in this bowl, and we're going to saute everything in that other pan, okay? And see if they're tender enough. I'll actually have to hot. They're actually ready. Yep, I'm going to shut it off, and I'm going to drain them in a bowl. So try to drain as much water as you can, because it will release more. There we go. And by doing it this way, like I said before, if there's any chance that there's some sand in it or whatever, it'll stay on the bottom of the pan. You're not going to eat it. So, good way to do it. Especially with these kind of vegetables. They tend to hide things in their leaves. There we go. I'll put it medium high for now and see and get in the pan hot. And like you see, I have some beans here. I just drained a can of beans. You can do more. You can soak your own beans, whatever you like. What I'm going to do now is just put some oil in the pan. Let's say at least 3 tablespoons of oil, because this is going to need some condiment. Okay, that should be good. Maybe a little bit more. All right. Let's wait until it gets pretty hot, and then we'll saute the onions. I'm going to put the onions, and you can chop the onions small if you like. It's up to you. If you don't want to see too much of the onions in a finished product. Okay, as you can see, they're sauteing pretty nicely. They'll probably need a couple more minutes. Get them on a good caramelization on. And actually I forgot to mention that I chopped a fresh tomato, a couple of fresh tomatoes, because you know, we Italians, we like tomatoes in everything, really, especially my husband. But you don't have to. It's all a matter of preferences. So if you don't want to or you don't have it, you don't have to. There. Just let him cook a little bit more. Because the vegetables and the beans are already cooked, so basically it's just a matter of putting them all together and getting them to mingle the flavors. So you don't want the onions to be uncooked. You want them to be fully cooked. Yeah. We actually, what we're going to do is actually we're going to saute the tomatoes with the onions too. Give them a little bit of the flavor of the onions and get them a little bit cooked before we add the vegetables. There, see already? It looks so good. The red of the tomatoes just brightens everything up. All right. Just another minute or so. Well, as you can see, this dish didn't take that long, even though we cooked the vegetables and we washed them and everything. It just didn't take as long as one might think. Just needs a little bit of patience, but you're going to have a product that is so much better than anything you're going to go out and buy already made. So hopefully I'll incite somebody to try them. And you can do this process with basically all kind of green vegetables: broccoli rabe, spinach, chicories, all kind of chicories, like we use a lot of it, the Belgian chicory and the actual dandelion. We grew up on all those. Most of it we used to grow ourselves into the country. So okay, this is basically ready to go. Now we're going to put in the vegetables. We'll just drop them in, just like that. And we're going to put the beans also. Okay. So, oops, lost one bean. So what you want to do is kind of mix them. This is a perfect dish for vegetarians. There's no meat, nothing that involves anything but vegetables and beans, which is a great, again, this is another one of authentic Mediterranean dishes where these things used to be staples in our homes growing up. Okay. And if you have a cover big enough, which I do, but right now I don't even know where it is, so I'm just going to use the cover I used for the boiling, just so that kind of steams a little bit. That's it, a couple of minutes and then the dish is ready. This is something that you can cook it and have it through the week as a side dish, as just by itself, however you like it. Hopefully you will enjoy this. It looks delicious. There it is, the finished product, a delicious vegetable dish and beans. So hopefully you'll try it and enjoy it. I know we will. Bye.
What are you fixing, Vito?